Peace and blessings, everyone. I want to ask that you look at this video over here. I'll put a link over to the side. And I want to try to put this video up as a response to the 10-minute clip that I saw that led me to watch this actual video. The video itself is around, I think, an hour and 20 minutes. But it's a very important video, and it's dealing with, it's a panel of scientists, and they're speaking on the things that are going on in government with the politicizing of scientific issues, and how scientists are, the money has been taken away, and how issues are being dealt with. Like, for instance, if scientists come with some facts that doesn't back up a policy of the current administration, but then the administration will ignore those scientists and then look for scientists who will go along with what they want the public to believe, which I hope you see is very dangerous. So it's a very interesting panel, and as you watch it, another thing I want you to keep in mind is, this is for all you Barack supporters, and I know I just keep hitting on Obama, and the reason why is, I can get on anybody, everybody that's running for president, everybody that's qualified to run, has a qualified political party. But of course, we only hear about the two because they ignore everybody else. I can point fingers at everybody because I don't believe there's anybody out there who is trying to bring real truth to the United States and change the entire government. That's the true change that's necessary. And so the reason I go after Barack is because we have so many people, especially so many of my black people, who are just falling in line with him, really for nothing other than the fact that he's black, for nothing other than the fact that he's a Democrat, and they want to get out the Republicans, so they think they're bringing change. None other than just because of the fact he keeps talking about change, which, if you look at the history of politics going through all the presidents, there's consistently been used the line of bringing change. Go look. There's always that soundbite. There's always that promise, that quote of, "Well, I'm gonna come in and bring change." It's always done. So why it seems like there's so many people just following and falling in, like, yes, he's gonna bring change. I don't see it. I don't understand it. Well, I guess I understand it because ultimately, when it comes down to it, you aren't about truth, all right? And that's what it's going to take. If you were about truth, uncompromising truth, then you would admit to the truth that he's not going to bring change. And so, like I said, as you watch the video, it's issues like this that are important. It's little things. And another thing I think you're caught up in is the fact that politicians are going to speak to you on something that is more important to you. All right, so if Obama comes here and speaks about the economy and the war, well, that's the most pressing issue in your minds right now. So when he comes here, and spits that game and talking about how he's on better economy, bring down gas prices and do something to war, well, you're like, okay, I'm all for it. But there are so many other issues. There are so many things that affect your life that are out there in a bigger scope of things that might not be important to you, and you just don't realize the importance. So, for instance, there is this video about science, and one that speaks to the corruption within the current government, the current system, and it's a system. So even if Barack gets in, he's still going to be part of this corrupt system, okay? So if he's not going to change the system, and he's not, because he's not speaking about doing it, then it's not changing anything, because it's corrupt and it's flawed, and it's just going to be a continuous the same thing. So when we get in there, it's still going to be financial problems, because the system is messed up. Capitalism is messed up. It's a flawed system. and we're seeing it, and we always see it. It's been shown over history. I mean, money doesn't exist. I hope you realize money does not exist. It's created. It's a control mechanism. That's all it is. It's there in place to control you, to get you to work. To buy goods, you must have money. To get money, you must work. It's a control. It's just a control mechanism. Money. There's no value in money. All right. If everybody was gone, all humans are gone, and money was here, money would have no value. The value is in our existence. The value is in truth. Truth is the greatest thing. So that's what we should be seeking to exchange and to buy and to have is truth. And I really hope you see that. Like I said, so Barack is not going to change that. Doesn't even speak to this issue. We must seek the truth of all issues. We must seek the uncompromising truth and deal with it, accept it, understand it, and then move forward with that knowledge of that truth. And then in those areas where when we got that truth and we still are unsure about some things down the line, of course then we adopt a belief about what may happen, what could happen. And when we do that, we have to be as optimistic as possible. Looking to do things as beneficial as possible for everybody in that belief, and it's not being done in this government, and it can't be done. So even I'm saying don't vote for Barack. I'm saying don't vote for anybody. Well, I would say vote for me, but even then I would not say vote for me and put me in this current system, because then I know I couldn't do anything in this system. I want you to vote not for me, but for the system that I'm trying to bring in. And that system is changing the current one. Because I'm saying Barack, no matter who you put in this office of president, this office of president itself, the president himself, he is not a dictator. So he can only do so much. He can only do so much. He has to get the approval of the Congress, and Supreme Court. So, because we have checks and balances. You had executive, legislative, and judicial. So he can put forth ideas, but if the other two aren't with it, then it doesn't get done. It's a checks and balances. And the problem is the checks and balances are corrupt and flawed. The checks aren't just checks. They aren't righteous checks. And the balance is uneven. We must have a level, even balance. And this current system doesn't allow that. It's not set up for that currently. So anybody who gets in there in this current system will not be able to do anything, will not be able to create change, because the system won't allow it. It's too much corruption within it. It must be abolished. It must be done away with, and a more just system put in place. So when I say, vote for me, then it would be in not for me per se, but to bring in a new system of checks and balances being truth, unequal belief, and unconditional love. Those things: the executive, judicial, and legislative. Truth, love, and belief. Right? And I don't believe there's anything more just in this world than those three. There's nothing more just than truth. The truth is God. So we must examine all things, whether the most minute thing, we must examine it for truth, to the largest thing in truth. And then, like I said, we get that truth, and then we use that, and when we have the truth, we balance it with belief. Okay, we have the truth of something. So when we move forward, what do we believe is going to happen? What do we believe is the best for everybody? And we move forward in our belief, and our belief is founded under the unconditional love. If we do everything for the betterment of everyone, then what will be the laws that we would create? Right? What will we do? For one, it would say that we have to get rid of money, because under the system of capitalism, somebody has to suffer. So under my system, money would be abolished, because it's not just. It doesn't allow love for everyone. So like I said, when I started speaking on earlier, that the office of president, that's just a figurehead. The person that goes in president is just a figurehead. He's just a face. All right. He has a job to do as a president by way of what the rules say the president's supposed to do. So in essence, the president, the role of president can function by itself with no one in there. If you just take the rules, you have the rules for each part of government, for each balance, you have the rules, and you are put it in a computer, the rules of each part, and you take an issue and enter into that computer, the computer will be able to spit out what should be done according to the rules of each checks and balance. Now the problem is that comes in is the flaws and the corruption that puts in, and that's what messes up everything, because of the human condition, because we humans have our flaws. We're self-centered, we're apathetic, we're corrupt, we get concerned about money, and so it's corrupt, and the current system allows that because of all the human intervention. But you do the truth, you do the love, you do the belief, I believe, like I said, it's the best, and it will change all that. It will make us the best that we can be. It's the best that's available here within our current existence, within this current world. Those are the greatest three things. Those are the best three things. And I put the challenge before. I'm asking somebody to prove me wrong, but no one is challenging me on that and proving me wrong, or attempted to, and not about wrong, but attempted to prove me not true. Because, like I said, right and wrong can always be debated, but no one even is coming. So, I believe that you people out there who call yourself, you who are voters and whatnot, who say you're a part of the political process, I believe you're doing a great disservice to yourself and to your family and to this world, by not truly getting into and looking into this current system. I guarantee that 99.99% of people who are voting for Barack have not looked into his voting history throughout him being a senator, the things that he has voted on in the Senate. I guarantee you haven't, because you're not concerned about that. You're concerned about the fact that he's a black man or that he's a Democrat, but you're not concerned about things he's voted, the things he might do once he gets in office, outside of those things that he's whispering in your ear that you want to hear. Those other things that are there that might have effect, if not on you, but maybe your family or children down the line or something like that. And like I said, but it's to be expected, because we are so apathetic, we're so self-centered, and we're so blind to the truth, and we don't listen for truth, we don't look for truth, and we very rarely speak truth. And we must do more of that. And until we do, the current world condition will continue. And you must see that. You must recognize this truth. So like I said, I hope you check it out. God bless everyone. Peace and love.